All right. Hello, people. Hello. Let's talk about something that's fucking so stupid. It's so stupid. And it doesn't stop happening. Because like I'm so tired of athletes. I really am tired of athletes. I'm tired of Ja Morant. I'm tired of fighters that get fucking jammed up. I'm tired of football players that get jammed up. Because here's the thing you gotta understand about athletes. Athletes are destined to crash out. And if you haven't got a chance to understand what the term crash out means, please go back to my previous video, my live. I kind of go through a very deep range of what that means. But essentially, what crash out means you can't think for yourself. When you can't think for yourself, you're destined to crash out because you don't. You're ruled by your emotions and you're ruled by people who essentially are telling you things that make sound good. You just run by emotions or you run by groupthink, which is also emotional because you care what people think. And so athletes are like the most susceptible. Entertainers are very susceptible to crashing out because they are affected by the way that people think about them. And because of that, they find it very difficult to make intelligent decisions because they're worried too much about, like I said, what other people care about, what they think, which is really a terrible way to go through life. You don't want to go through life giving a fuck because at the end of the day, it's just what people think. All you can do is what they do. Even what people do, unless it directly affects my livelihood, I really don't care too much. Like, congratulations. Like, if you want to put a wig on and put makeup on as a guy, good for you. I don't know. If you like it, I fucking love it for you. Congratulations. Just don't interfere in my business and my transgressions. But here's why Ja Morant needs to be just banned from basketball. Like, he shouldn't be allowed to play basketball ever. Like, fuck that suspended for a year. Fuck that being shipped to China. No. Ja Morant needs to be banned from basketball just altogether because that's the only way he's going to learn. Because people don't learn unless you take what they love from or they lose what they love. And one of the issues that we have when it comes to like people who make a lot of money is that they can afford to do a lot of stupid shit that doesn't make a lot of sense. And because they can afford to do these things, they end up making very bad choices over and over and over and over again because they can just pay their way through. Because most people don't judge people by character, they judge people by their money. And so people would pretty much like pretend like they like you, they'll lie to you, they'll pretend like you're cool, they'll pretend like you're funny, they'll pretend like you're attractive. People will do a lot of stuff for money. And that kind of goes against my creed. Like, there's certain money I just don't take because I just don't want to deal with certain things. And Ja Morant is one of these characters who's clearly demonstrated he does not care. And he's going to keep doing what he wants to do because his paycheck still keeps coming. So he's going to go around and keep playing gangster despite already being suspended. And within less than like 2 months, he got resuspended indefinitely. I don't know if it's suspended for a year, but he's just suspended. And what's crazy about this is none of his homies, like, first of all, why are you in the car with, like, if you guys haven't seen the video, we show you the video. I'm going to show you. So as you can see, he clearly doesn't care. He pulls out a gun at the very end of the video. And here's the thing I have with the whole gun thing. If Ja Morant really loves guns, like if he's that much of a gun enthusiast, why does he not like show himself at the gun range with like professionals teaching him how to actually shoot and be properly prepared with a gun? That's why I don't buy this fucking thing where people are saying, well, he has a gun, so it doesn't really make a difference because everybody has a gun. Why can't anybody just show a gun? It's like, it's not a problem that you're showing a gun, but it's like you're showing a gun doing stupid gangster shit. And that's my issue with the fucking problem. It's like, I don't care if you want to show guns because I like guns. But if I'm riding around showing a gun off to people in my car, like, what are you doing? The only people that do that is like gangsters and people want to be rappers. Like, and that's the thing I try to tell people. Athletes want to be rappers and rappers want to be athletes. It's a weird fucking thing. Because this is one of the things within the black community. Within the black community, there's only like 3 avenues that niggas normally take. And there's 2 productive ones and there's 1 destructive one. Niggas either want to be hoopers, football players, some type of athlete, or they want to be a rapper slash entertainer, or they go gangster because they realize they're not good at basketball and they can't rap. So they end up being gangsters. And then gangsters want to be rappers and the rappers want to be gangsters, which is even more confusing. All of it's very confusing when you really look down and get down to the very root of it. It's just crashing out at its finest. And this is why I say Ja Morant needs to just be suspended for fucking life. Like just exiled from basketball. Because now he's making the stories of him because apparently he got caught slipping pulling a gun on a kid in a rec league basketball game. And now I'm likely to believe it. At first, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, man, maybe he didn't do it. Maybe they're just lying, trying to get some cash on him. Like, I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. Because I think as a logical person, why would me, Ja Morant, who is a world famous basketball player, one of the up and coming stars, recognized pretty much universally, why would I pull a gun out on a child in a rec league basketball game? Unless that kid pulled a gun on me, then somebody's dying. So nobody died in a situation. So why is there a gun? Why is there stories of a gun and multiple people confirming that there was a gun pulled out? Chances are there was a gun pulled out. And now that I see, he apparently likes to just pull out guns and dance around with them like they are toys. And guns are toys, but they're very serious toy, which is so much more confusing. And so anyway, it's just bizarre. It's fucking bizarre because as I watch this young man throw his life away, I don't feel pity. Because he actually grew up in a very prestigious neighborhood. He grew up in a suburb. He grew up around a lot of white kids. He grew up just playing basketball, being a hooper. And for some reason, and which I think is because he started listening to rap music. And this is why rap music is going to be banned in the next couple of years. They're not going to allow rappers to go anymore because they're going to say this is too destructive to the community. Because I'm telling you, white kids are going to start shooting each other. And not in school shootings. They're going to start shooting each other like for real, like gangster shit. Because now white people are starting to crash out. A lot of white kids have now been mesmerized, and they want to be gangsters, and they want to be fucking like the rappers too. And as this keeps degrading, as society keeps degrading, as we go further down the crash out of the West, what's going to happen is there's going to be white kids that are going to start playing gangsters, and we're going to start seeing white shootouts like gangsters, and we're going to start seeing white kids pull out guns and brandish guns, and we already seen this to some degree. If you go down TikTok, there's a lot of white kids playing gangster. And those kids are going to grow up and they're going to keep thinking they're gangster because they got a lot of money and they can pretend to be gangsters. And they listen to a lot of fucking rap music. And they're going to be just like Ja Morant. And so what I'm saying is America, the West, we have to take a stand against stupid shit like this. We have to take a stand against people just basically acting out and doing wild, reckless behavior that doesn't result in anything positive. Like nothing good came from Ja Morant doing this. Nothing. I'm yet to see how this is beneficial to anybody in life. And like I like it's crazy. And let's take a listen to what Mr. Colin Cowherd had to say. He had a very interesting take. Well, actually, I know Charleston White says something very interesting.
So Ja Morant is a player for Memphis.
I saw that today. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, go ahead.
What'd you think about Ja Morant?
I can ask you a question.
Well, hold on. Let me back up for a minute because a couple weeks ago, right? It was some reports from team personnel that said that he hang with a lot of street dudes or whatever, right? Yeah. And even to the point to where they was like pointing lasers at him and making alleged threats towards the different staff and stuff like that. And he been getting caught up a lot in a narrative in which they trying to paint it out like he like kind of he running things. Yeah, that's what they trying to say.
Who he play for?
Memphis.
Yeah, they need to get rid of. They need to get rid of him.
They need to get rid of Ja.
Yeah, he's a liability to the team. He's gonna cost some teams some money. You need to get rid of him. Yeah, for public safety reason and team safety reason and protection of the staff.
Thank you. Why is he playing gangster in the locker room? Why is anybody playing gangster in the locker room? Why are we doing Gilbert Arenas 2.0? You got your homeboys coming to fucking Memphis games and brandishing weapons at them, pointing lasers at them. What are we doing here? This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and you guys care about this one guy with a funny hair color thing and that can't dunk the basketball. Why are we dealing with this? In no other form of life, and this is when I tell you the thing with athletes. Athletes crash out the hardest because we make excuses for athletes because they put a ball in the hoop, not recognizing that athletes really have no real value intrinsically within society. They are basically jesters. They are very expensive jesters for the masses, and they're very they make a lot of money for a business owner because basketball is a product. Basketball is a product, and I don't think people recognize that enough. That this is a corporate product that is being sold to the masses. So if you have this guy who is going around playing gangster, and this is one of the things they have with Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson wasn't even a real gangster like that. He wasn't going around brandishing weapons at people. He just had tattoos and was wearing whatever the fuck you want to wear at press conferences. But they're like, yo, guy, like we have a certain image we're trying to keep up. He's like, well, this is my image. It's the way I think. It's like, okay, I get it. I get it. Okay. We're not mad at you, Allen. Like, I understand, but listen, please. Help us help you. Would it be such a difficult thing just to wear a decent suit or a polo, just to clean up your image a little bit more? Because there's a bunch of people that watch you, a lot of kids watch you. There's advertisement. There's a lot of money being made. Why are you taking this stand in the way you dress? Because this is my culture. Okay, I get that is your culture. I understand. But this culture is not a very productive culture. And niggas don't see it that way. That's why actually I approve the dress code of the NBA. Because I approve just dress codes everywhere. Like certain industries need to have a particular dress code. Like, for example, I work in construction. So when I work in construction, there's a particular dress code you have to have. It's very loose. Don't get me wrong, it's very loose, but you have to wear jeans, you have to wear boots, you have to wear a hard hat and sometimes safety goggles and gloves. You might be asking, well, why I gotta do that? Well, because this is a business, and in order to protect the business and to protect yourself and to look a certain standard, it kind of helps if everybody has these particular things on. So it just makes everything look a lot more professional because we don't want people out there in gym shorts. We don't want their people out there in gym shorts and sandals because, first of all, it's not safe. And then, secondly, you guys look very funny wearing gym shorts and sandals at a construction yard. And so, this thing what I was saying with Ja Morant, get him out of basketball. It's bad because now you're going to have kids. The longer he stays in the league and the longer he plays, the more we're going to have other kids start to think this is a good idea, that I can be like Ja Morant, do what I want to do, play how I want to play, blah, 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 blah. And what's going to happen is it's going to continue to propagate. And then we got kids bringing guns, and some kids going to get shot. Some kids going to get shot at a basketball game. I'm pretty sure kids have been shot at a basketball game. But kids going to be shot at the basketball game because we decided to let Ja Morant go crazy. Like, it's just insane. Flashing a gun. You know what? Just read that headline. Ja Morant suspended after flashing gun on social media again. Not flashing a gun on social media. That was like 2 weeks ago. That was like 2 or 3 months ago. No. Again. Within the same year. Within the same calendar year before the season even ended. I think the season just ended. He was riding around with a car. And it's like, guy, if you love guns that much, why not just go and be professionally trained and show footage of you actually working with a professional, teaching you how to be productive and safe with a firearm? Come tell you, he's going to kill somebody. Somebody's going to get shot over Ja Morant. He's going to get himself in a situation because, once again, he's a follower and he's crashing out because he can't think for himself and because he kicks it with a certain influence of guys. These guys don't know how to protect him because they're not really his boys. They're just some niggas. And it's going to cost him a lot of money. It's going to cost somebody life, probably his freedom. So instead of waiting until that happens, how about we just leave a message at the message? Hey, you do reckless behavior, we're going to kick you out the league. And we'll kick you out of basketball. We'll talk to our partners in China and tell them, no, get these guys out of here. And that's all I'm saying, man. Like, Ja Morant, man, like, just put him in military camp or just sit him out the league. Make him have to go get a real job. I say keep him out the league for a decade. Maybe his rest of life is too far. I say put him out the league for a decade. He's 22, 23. He'll come back at 34, and then he'll be like, damn, I really fucked my life up trying to be a fucking gangster for no reason. And that's what everybody deserves for trying to be a gangster for no reason, because there's no fucking productivity or anything of substance being created by playing gangster on fucking internet. It's just stupid.